Hey guys, Nate the Farmer here. So I'm having to give myself a crash course in how to edit videos, so please bear with me. I imagine some of this is a little hard to watch, but I'm having fun learning, and as time goes on, I promise you that myself, my sister, and hopefully Obadiah, my oldest son, will help me learn how to do a better job of this. The next video you're going to see, or the next clip you're going to see in this edited video, is me walking through the corn maze, telling you about the process of building, and then we're going to cut away to the actual drone footage of us being up in the sky looking down, and we're going to reveal to you the design for 2021. So bear with me. I don't know why I felt like I had to be so serious while I was talking, but I was very serious at the beginning of the video, but we'll get rid of that. I'm much happier being funny and just making jokes all the time. I love you guys. Keep subscribing to these videos, and hopefully I'll have better content for you coming out super soon. Enjoy the video. Bye. All right, everybody. So it's going to take a little while for me to put together some footage and edit it together of the process of making the maze. Got lots of video footage of me out here and Chris and Junior and the whole crew and Mike working on the trails. But what I can do right now is walk you through the finished product while the corn is about, it's about thigh high. It's almost up to my butt, which is too high to add any more trails. I wanted to do a few more things to it, but we're gonna have to take what we've got and run with it. The basis of my design is here, and now I'm gonna walk through it a little bit and talk to you about how we did it, why we did the things we did, and then we'll get some drone footage of it, and hopefully you can get a good idea what the design is. So, we've been through this before. I don't want to overly talk about it, but you use the corn planted in a grid fashion, then apply that to a grid paper, and then use the picture on grid paper and reference the corn to the grid. So if you had 10 rows of corn on the y-axis and 10 rows on the x-axis, you'll use those rows to help you, those flag lines to reference where you're at. And it takes time. You got to know how to read a map, and it can be very frustrating if you don't know how. But these flags are really important. I'll turn the camera around right here for you, and you can see the flag. Okay, so right there's one of the flags poking up in the middle of the trail. And even when you're cutting or you're spraying the corn, you want to try to leave the flags as much as possible because they're going to help you throughout the process. Part of the problem that we have is we also use these fields at other times for other things, and I've got underground main lines that we irrigate with because it's a lot easier to bury the water lines underground than come up with a hydrant, tie into it, and let that be the source of water instead of laying an overhead line. And it's messy, it gets in the way, it gets ran over by tractors and people who don't know it's there. The problem is when you have a hydrant, you have to pick the corn burner up and go around it. And we did that. I probably should have come out in the field and cut the hydrants off and let Junior and Mike, when they planted the corn, and Chris, just go right over it. But we forgot to do that. We were in a hurry. So we ended up with this hydrant out in the middle of the field. We're going to walk right to it here. And basically a place where there shouldn't have been a big open area with no corn. So we had to come out and plant the corn after we'd done the design. So obviously the corn you're seeing now is far behind the corn that really constitutes the maze. So what we'll have to do is let it grow up so it makes sense when you look at it from the air. We'll do the drone footage and we'll be able to make the design out, and it's fine, but the picture, which has got a face in it, and we're standing right between the eyes in an area that's got no corn, so it kind of looks a little weird, but you can really make out what the design is. And there's another hydrant way down there, kind of hard to make out, past that homemade scarecrow with a pie pan, and it did the same thing, but it came out and kind of on the edge of a trail, so we had to go through there and plant some corn too. We're hoping that this corn that we planted right here, I'm going to show it to you one more time. We're hoping that will come back good and thick and help this become a very blanketed green area so that it doesn't seem like a big hole in the middle of the face of the person that I drew there. And that's it really. It's just about hard work, sweating, come up with a design, drawing that design out, following that map, and having good people behind you that pay attention and listen to you. Good communication on something like this is key because the people you're working with have to be willing to go, to be willing to come and speak to you and go, hey, can you tell me where this trail is again? I don't want to cut the wrong side. And if they do make a mistake, or if you make a mistake, you can't lose your cool, because that's part of the corn maze process, is taking your time, but working diligently, getting the process done as fast as possible while making as few mistakes as possible. It's a great experiment. It's a great fun thing to do. And I tell you right now, one of the more entertaining and rewarding aspects of the farm is seeing people come out and enjoy these corn mazes that Junior and myself and Chris and Mike and Courtney and my sister and all the kids actually put a lot of work into. So we'll go up on the hill here and take a little bit of drone footage and we'll see how it looks from the sky. Okay guys, well we got the little drone out here and we're going to take our first aerial view of the maze. So, in all honesty, I have seen this thing from the air more than once now. But this will be the first time you guys get to see it. So we'll take her up and we'll get a good look at where she's at and then bring her out over the field. And I'm gonna try not to pan the camera down so you can see exactly what the 2021 corn maze is gonna look like, excuse me. All right, so we'll go pan the camera down slightly here. And what you're seeing there are the pumpkins. And a little side note, you'll notice we did not get a 100% survival rate on the pumpkins, but we planted so many that there's going to be more than enough pumpkins, I believe, for this year's group of kids to get to enjoy them. All right, let's pull back on the old drone and bring her out over the cornfield. And once we get out there, we will rotate over to the design so you guys will be able to see it. And again, this is the big reveal. Once we've got a look at it, I'll try to walk you through some of the reasons we did the things we did. There's the hill where we hope to have brambles and apples soon, the beehives, my truck, and me. And there you go, guys. There is the 2021 Darnell Farms corn maze. You'll notice now we've used the Rosie, as we've called her, design. And what I had originally intended to do was give this corn maze a bit of a thank you to all the working women in the world theme. But I ran out of lettering room because the corn was a little weak right at where her hand grabs the edge of the bag. But we were able to get the design in, and we'll probably try to do some editing with lettering to kind of show that. But we'll take some more detailed looks now what's going on. You'll see that on her arm there, if we bring the camera down, there's the shape of North Carolina State. There's the ribbon coming off her arm and her elbow, just the edge of a strawberry tattoo, and the shovel. Then the work hard tattoo up on her top of her arm, kind of a little homage to the old work hard philosophy of Darnell Farms. And I tried to add a lot of little sunflowers in, because nothing wrong with a little sunflowering. I had to contour her shirt with some zigzag lines and the bag so that you could differentiate between the tank top and the bag full of vegetables. And you can just make out the logo as it goes into the edge of the corn on the left here as we border with the strawberry field. Now we'll go out over her face and we'll talk about some of the issues we had with the corn and things we're working on as we move towards, finishing up this design. So you'll see that big open area between her eyes there. I actually got lucky that it ended up where it is, because if it had been in an eyeball or her nose, it would have looked really odd, and I don't know if we'd have had the time to fix it. But it being where it is, I think we're going to be okay in the long run. We've got her face there, her lips, her nose, her eyes, those fierce eyebrows, her bandana, which worked out pretty good. And then we added some more sunflowers in at the top of the maze. I was really happy with the leaf. I had intended to put some sunflowers on the right here next to her face, but I just ran out of time, guys. We've been so busy. So what we'll probably do is cut ourselves a bit of a road through there and make a little river type road you can drive the corn maze and the hayride wagon through. Now, as we move past the corn maze, you'll see right out there, as it gets green and there's no trails, that's actually giant sunflowers. Tried to tie the whole sunflower theme again together with the whole thing. We've done sunflowers in the past. There's sunflowers over to the left there. But we did giants this year at the edge of the corn maze instead of standard. And as you look on the edge of the corn maze, we'll see if we can rotate the camera here. The whole border of the corn maze has got sunflowers planted around it. There's 4 rows of light colored green. You can kind of make them out. Now there's a good look at North Carolina State, the other sunflower, the edge of the maze. It's awfully windy out here today, guys, so the drone's telling me she's not liking it. She may have to come home. But I got to tell you, with the help of Junior and Mike and Chris and Courtney, it's an excellent corn maze. All right, she's going to bring it back. We ran out of time. I can totally appreciate the fact that this little drone is telling me what to do. So there you go, guys. That is the 2021 Darnell Farm corn maze. A little dedication to all the hardworking gals on the farm. One more time, there's her face and those fierce eyebrows and those piercing eyes. That awesome tattoo work on her arm, the big bag full of goodies from Darnell Farms on her back, and some sunflowers to round things out. Right there you'll see where the corn didn't grow real well in the corner. But I tell you right now, I'm proud of this corn maze. I'm proud of the people involved with this farm, and I'm proud to be a part of this thing happening in 2021. And I hope we get to share this bad boy with every person who wants to be involved. So come out to Darnell Farms, get in this corn maze, and I'll have some more videos coming up real soon talking about how we actually cut the trails in. But I wanted to finally unveil the design for 2021. So there you go. Rosie, the farm working gal, dedicated to all the hardworking women in the world. We're gonna bring the drone on in. I'm gonna give it one last little wave for doing real good, taking that last view of the farm. Come on down, little drone. Here I am waiting to say hello.